We're living in an incredible time. One of the most valuable skills that we can develop during this time is the ability to predict what's going to happen next. If we can learn how to do that, it could be one of the most important skills that we develop, because then we can position ourselves ahead of the curve rather than behind it. There's no question that artificial intelligence is going to be a major force in our economy over the coming years. But where exactly is this going? I want to share with you my predictions about the future of healthcare and how it's going to be transformed by artificial intelligence. And hopefully, at the end of this video, you'll have a better understanding of what's happening in the world of healthcare and how you might be able to invest in these trends. Before we get started, please make sure you hit that like button and consider subscribing. It really helps me out. So let's talk about healthcare. What does the future of healthcare look like? Well, first off, I believe that one of the biggest benefits of artificial intelligence is going to be its ability to help us detect things earlier than we've ever been able to before. For example, there are companies like Path AI and Zebra Medical Vision, which are both using artificial intelligence to help doctors read mammograms and other types of medical scans. They're trying to help them identify things like cancer cells much earlier than they've ever been identified before. This means that people can get treatment sooner and hopefully increase their chances of survival. There's another company called Tempus, which uses artificial intelligence to help doctors diagnose patients who have rare disorders. There's a lot of different rare disorders out there, and it can be very difficult for doctors to figure out what's wrong with a patient if they don't see it very often. But Tempo is trying to solve this problem using artificial intelligence. They've developed a system that can analyze a patient's genetic information, medical history, and symptoms to help doctors make a diagnosis. And it's already helped doctors diagnose more than 1,000 patients with rare disorders. Here's another example. There's a company called Freenome, which is using artificial intelligence to help detect cancer early. They've developed a test that can detect cancer cells in the blood, which means that people can get treatment before a tumor has even formed. This could potentially save thousands of lives every year. Another company called Butterfly Network is developing a handheld device that uses artificial intelligence to help doctors diagnose patients. The device can be used to scan a patient's body and identify abnormalities, which could indicate a number of different disorders. So what I'm seeing here is that artificial intelligence is being used for a variety of different things in healthcare, but one of the most common applications seems to be early detection. We're also seeing a lot of companies using artificial intelligence to help improve the accuracy of medical diagnoses. For example, there's a company called iDoc, which has developed a system that uses artificial intelligence to help doctors diagnose brain disorders. They've developed an algorithm that can analyze a patient's MRI scans to identify abnormalities, which could indicate a number of different disorders. The system has been shown to be more accurate than human radiologists, which means that patients can get a diagnosis faster and more accurately. Another company called Viz AI is developing a system that uses artificial intelligence to help doctors diagnose and treat eye disorders. Their system can analyze a patient's retinal images to identify abnormalities, which could indicate a number of different disorders. So what I'm seeing here is that artificial intelligence is being used to help improve the accuracy of medical diagnoses. And ultimately, this is going to lead to better outcomes for patients. It's also going to lead to cost savings for the healthcare system as a whole. For example, when a patient is misdiagnosed, it can lead to unnecessary tests, treatments, and hospital stays. But with the help of artificial intelligence, we can reduce the number of misdiagnoses and ultimately reduce the amount of money that we're spending on healthcare as a whole. Let me give you some more examples. There's a company called Caption, which is using artificial intelligence to help doctors read pathology reports. Pathology reports are often difficult to read, but with the help of Caption, doctors can quickly and easily identify the key findings. This allows them to make a more accurate diagnosis and develop a better treatment plan. There's another company called Quantia, which is using artificial intelligence to help doctors diagnose and treat sepsis. Sepsis is a life-threatening condition that occurs when the body's response to infection goes into overdrive. It can be difficult to diagnose sepsis early, but with the help of Quantia, doctors can quickly and accurately identify patients who are at risk. This allows them to intervene early and prevent the condition from worsening. Now, all of these companies are using artificial intelligence in different ways to improve the quality of care that we're able to provide to patients. These are just a few examples of the many companies that are using AI to transform healthcare. As artificial intelligence continues to improve, we're going to see even more applications of it in healthcare. Now, I want to be clear that I'm not saying that artificial intelligence is going to replace doctors or other healthcare professionals. Rather, I believe that artificial intelligence is going to augment the work of these professionals and allow them to do their jobs more effectively. For example, by automating routine tasks, artificial intelligence will allow doctors to focus on more complex cases. It will also allow them to spend more time with their patients, which is ultimately what we all want. What I'm saying here is that we're at the beginning of a major transformation in healthcare, and artificial intelligence is going to play a big role in that transformation. Here's why I think now is the time to pay attention to artificial intelligence in healthcare. The first reason is that we're seeing a lot of investment in this space. Over the past few years, we've seen venture capitalists pour billions of dollars into artificial intelligence startups, especially those that are focused on healthcare. This is because there's a huge opportunity to improve the quality of care that we're able to provide to patients while also reducing the cost of healthcare. The second reason is that we're starting to see some of these companies achieve scale. This is really important because it shows that these companies are not only able to raise money, but they're also able to actually make an impact. They're able to improve the quality of care that we're able to provide to patients. And that's ultimately what's going to drive the adoption of artificial intelligence in healthcare. The third reason is that we're starting to see some of these companies go public. This is a really important milestone because it shows that investors are willing to give these companies a very high valuation. They believe in the potential of artificial intelligence in healthcare. The fourth reason is that we're starting to see some of these companies acquire other companies. This is a really important trend because it shows that the big players in healthcare are starting to take notice of artificial intelligence. They're starting to acquire these smaller companies so that they can benefit from the technology that they're developing. The fifth reason is that we're starting to see some of these companies partner with each other. This is really important because it shows that the industry as a whole is embracing artificial intelligence. They know that by working together, they can accelerate the development and adoption of this technology. When we look at all of these trends together, it's clear that artificial intelligence is going to be a major force in healthcare over the coming years. That's why I believe that now is the time to pay attention to this space. Now, I'm not saying that you should go out and invest in artificial intelligence companies tomorrow. What I am saying is that you need to start educating yourself about this technology and the companies that are developing it. You need to start following the trends in healthcare and the role that artificial intelligence is going to play. Because once you understand this, you'll be able to identify the opportunities that are out there. If you want to learn more about artificial intelligence, I would recommend checking out some of the resources that I've linked to below. These are some of the best books and articles that I've read on this topic. Thank you again for watching, and I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you did, please make sure you hit that like button and consider subscribing. It really helps me out. Also, please feel free to leave any comments or questions you have below. I always love getting to answer as many of those as possible. Thank you again for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.